Okay, here's the thing. I don't want to cause trouble, especially not with you guys, because you're amazing and awesome. And just the fact that you're watching this video means that you're like a friend of mine. So I don't want to get into a fight, but if you guys keep doing this one particular thing, we're going to have some problems.
AfroDaddy.
Hey there, welcome to AfroDaddy. This video is going to be a little bit different because I want to talk kind of personally to you. So it might seem a little bit more all over the place compared to my normal videos. But I want to talk to you about something that is brewing in the background on AfroDaddy, and not in a good way, because over the last couple of weeks, I've been putting up various polls, various ways to start discussions about things that are important to parents. Some of those polls are specifically and only for dads. And you know that would be the case because those are the polls that have the word dads in the text. Now, despite the fact that these polls have been marked very clearly just for dads, the first people to vote on them and to leave their comments and to leave their thoughts are moms. In fact, it was so strange that a couple of weeks ago, I wrote a blog post about this exact issue, trying to figure out what was going on. Were these moms voting because they didn't see the fact that it was just for dads? Or were they voting on behalf of their partners? Or were they voting for what they think their partners should vote for? And those are fine, although I'll tell you why I have issues with those points later on. But the really scary one was, I voted the way I thought my husband should vote. So when I put up a poll saying, hey dads, do you feel like you spend enough time with your kids? Something like 80% of the people who voted were moms, and they all said that the dads aren't spending enough time with their children. Now, that may be true, but I wanted to hear it from the dad's voice. So look, you might be saying, hey, what's the big deal? This is a place for all parents. So I voted on a thing that was just for dads. It doesn't really matter. And to explain why this issue is actually so important to me, I think I need to explain my bigger thinking and my bigger goal for AfroDaddy. It's not just to make videos and to engage with people. It's actually to start working on a bigger problem. And that problem is fatherhood. Because worldwide, and especially in South Africa, we have a problem with fathers. They're not showing up physically, they're not showing up emotionally, they are not coping with being dads. And I think one of the first ways we can help these dads deal with these issues and help these dads be better fathers is to get them talking, right? Like, we can't help people unless they know what the problem is, unless we know what the problem is. And the only way that's going to happen is if dads are actually communicating and talking with one another and with everyone else in general. So here's a problem with that. Men in general are not good with communication, especially when it's a vulnerable space, when you're talking about how you feel like you failed or where you're scared or where you think that you should be doing better. Those are all spaces where men haven't been trained to talk about it and to form a community to help them with those issues, right? So we really have to start with the first point, which is just to get men engaging with fatherhood, to get these dads talking about their own experiences and to talk about what they think about being a dad. And frankly, we have to try and make that really easy for dads to do. The first step to that is making simple ways to engage around fatherhood. I have a couple of other ideas which I'll be trying to do throughout this year, but these polls and these questions that I'm putting out just for dads are more than just ways to get engagement on my Facebook page. They're ways to get dads to go, oh, wait a second, I can talk about this. So yeah, it might not seem like a big deal to you, and you might think, you know what, I can vote on behalf of my husband. That really is sweet, but defeats the purpose, because the purpose isn't just to get the votes. The purpose is to get men, and fathers specifically, talking and thinking about fatherhood. And when you vote on someone else's behalf, or when you vote in a poll just for dads, you take up the space that a dad could have had with your vote and with your comment. Now, that might sound over the top to you, but that's also why not every piece of content on AfroDaddy is just for dads. Now look, I'm realistic. I understand that a lot of men aren't on social media and they don't really comment and engage with pieces of content the way a lot of women do. And trust me, I know what my demographics of my followers are because Facebook really nicely gives you that information. I know that something like 80% or more of my followers are women. So it would be stupid for me just to make content only for men. So that's why the vast majority of my content is for parents in general, because hey, we could all use the help, right? We could all use another place where we can feel safe to tell about how we've been struggling. And that's why with the Ask AfroDaddy podcast, my wife joins me, because it's not just for dads, it's for all parents. But there are some points that are just for dads. There are some few tiny moments that I'm trying to etch out, to carve out, that are just to help dads start to talk. And those polls are one of them. Now, like I said, throughout 2019, there are a bunch of ideas that I have that you'll see throughout 2019 that will hopefully pull dads into the conversation much better in a much more organic way. But for now, just to start with, I just need you guys to help me. When you see a post on AfroDaddy that says dads, don't vote on that or don't comment on that. Feel free to share that. Feel free to share it with the dads that you know. Feel free to send it to your partner or tag him in it. If you have a dad in your life, make sure that he sees it. That would be amazing, and I really appreciate that help. But don't vote on that yourself, because trust me, as a dad, I can tell you the one thing I don't want to see in a conversation about fatherhood is a bunch of moms slamming their partners. It makes it a space that doesn't feel safe for me to be honest about things that I'm struggling with. I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying. I hope I'm not coming across too harsh. I appreciate every single one of you, whether you're a mom or a dad or not a parent or whatever. The fact that you're spending time with me on Facebook and YouTube and on the website, I love it. I can't say thank you enough for that kind of stuff. But if you are truly supporting AfroDaddy, then you're supporting AfroDaddy's mission, which is to encourage engaged fatherhood in South Africa. A big part of that is making space for dads to talk. I hope you can help me with that. I hope I haven't offended anyone. That's not my goal. I don't want to offend moms or dads, but I want to be honest. I feel like I can be honest with you, right? Yeah, of course we can. You and I, we go way back. Thanks so much for watching this episode, and thank you for all of your continued support. I'll see you soon. AfroDaddy out.
I love AfroDaddy.